What is going on, everyone? Mr. Mom Collectibles. I am back with another quick video, and today I want to talk about Jazzinc and the updates that have been going on with the animated Batmobile. Now, for those that maybe don't remember, about 3 months ago, this video up here was done with Yoast outlining the options that were voted upon for the next Batmobile project, as you can see here. And I was a little surprised. I thought the 97 George Clooney Batmobile would win just because those who have been collecting all of the vehicles, you would cinematically have every Batmobile between Hot Toys and Jazzinc. But lo and behold, the animated Batmobile actually won. And so this is basically Yoast kind of going over the details of the vehicle and, needless to say, the challenges that would be put forth making the vehicle. And I guess, the concerns would be, how many people would actually back it. And I know the big thing about the vehicle was going to be a couple things. Number one was going to be the size of the vehicle, but number two was going to be the design, because it's a very simple vehicle that was drawn up in cartoons. There's really not much to it. It's a simple line form, simple shape. So he was going over some ideas of like giving it a more realistic look, as you can see here. That was really shot down by people. They wanted it like true to the animated cartoon. So he was kind of going with that. And then the other thing was actually talking about the sheer just size of the vehicle. If it truly was 6 scale, that it wouldn't fit in a lot of garage shelves or module cases and things like that. So he's kind of talking about just the sheer width of the length of the vehicle itself. So he said that he would update everybody in a couple months when he kind of figured out some things between manufacturing, the design, the price point, what he could offer. And that being said, we got an updated video today from Jazzinc. This is the updated version. It's about a 4-minute video. I'll link everything in the description to this video below so you can check it out. But he basically goes on to kind of point out a couple details. Number one, it's going to be a clean version only with very minor weathering, just to give it a realistic look, similar to the 2022 Batmobile clean version, where it still had some weathering, but it was very simple. He also talks about the size of it. He's got it to where he's aiming for it to fit inside of a DF 120 and most garage shelving, knowing what people are using for his vehicles. Also, he's outlining that he's making it to work with 1/6 animated Batman figures, such as Mondo and other third parties who are making some figures from the Batman animated. The overall size of the car, and I'll pause the video because he breaks it out there, but he's aiming for it to be 47 inches in length, 16 inches wide, and 9 inches tall, which is a very large vehicle. So those are the dimensions of what he's going with. It's not clearly stated. I'm assuming this isn't exactly 1/6. I think there was some design liberties that had to get taken to make the vehicle an acceptable size, but also maintain the look, because it is a very distinguished look. And like I said, I think it changed a lot of times when it was being drawn in a cartoon. Honestly, they weren't worried about designing the car to make a toy 20 years later, or should say a collectible 20 years later of 6 scale. And that being said, it kind of varied. So you got to really kind of hone in and figure out what's right. So the features, he's calling it basic for now, but more support could garner more options, similar to the Batman Forever, which just hit the minimum. So it's pretty basic in what it offered. On the flip side to that, the 89 Batmobile offered a ridiculous amount of extra features because of how much support it had from those in the hobby. Now, the features are going to be opening cockpit with lights and room for your animated series figure, exterior lights front and back, rotating rubber tires, a power supply, limited edition release, and then there are the sizes. And once again, he alludes to it working with animated figure, and he does touch on a little special surprise at the end of the video. But like I said, it's a pretty cool looking piece. I do question, those that will actually back the vehicle. I will put here, and we'll end it in a moment, but he does mention to head over to the Jazzinc closed Facebook group to vote on the vehicle. He's putting it up for a final vote on those that would like to pre-order it versus those that are not. If you have not known about the Facebook group, I will link it in the description below, so you can go over there and join the group. Some fantastic stuff over there. It's all Jazzinc, so you can ask questions. Yost is pretty communicating with the community over there, and talking to everybody, answering questions. And so it's really, if you're all into Jazzinc and everything, that's great. And that's definitely a group that you do want to be a part of. Now, kind of to end the video on 2 points, he was talking about more backing. So he is showcasing some specific stills of scenes from the cartoon, missiles, the wheel cutter that comes out on the caps, guns, smoke effects. That goes back to the whole point is, basic for now, but more support, more options. So he has some ideas of what to, add to the vehicle, but it's really got to hit. He doesn't mention what the backing numbers have to be, but he does keep people updated about that in terms of what will happen. But once again, over at the Facebook group to vote on. Now he does talk about one final surprise. He's touched on it in the video about, your 6 scale figure, your animated figure. For those who know, he talked about doing the Michelle Pfeiffer from Batman Returns, and now he is showing a work in progress of a 1/6 scale Batman animated figure. And so that's kind of what he touches on. So I do have some questions about this with the figure. I am curious to know that, my biggest question is going to be, obviously with figures, people have a lot of questions, right? What the quality is going to be like, things like that. But I guess my one question I would have initially is, if the backing on the vehicle fails, does the figure fail? Like, will this figure come out regardless of the support of the Batmobile? So that's something interested that I is interested to know. And finally, I want to wrap it up here. This is the Facebook group. If you haven't joined, like I said, they have over 15,000 members. But here it is. He puts it up for a vote. He's basically putting everything out there. The price tag, 1499 specifically. That is before shipping. And he's basically saying, will you pre-order or not? And there are currently, at the time of this video, there's 427 votes. And it looks like 66% are saying no, while 34% are saying yes. Now, the one thing I will say for those who voted, and if those intend to vote, vote if you're really going to get it or not. I think that's what kind of happened. Now, do I agree with this system? I don't personally. I think voting on features versus a project is probably better, because if you are someone that does want to pre-order it, it's kind of a shame that, it's only 427 people, votes, and a small majority is going to decide basically whether this project, sees the light of day or not. But just like the Jedi Starfighter, an enormous amount of people voted for that. And then when it came time to pre-ordering, the numbers didn't match. And I remember Yoast actually making a separate video about that, kind of calling people out, saying like, hey, you voted, where are you? So my only advice is, whether or not I agree with this system of it, that's a separate topic. But if you're going to vote, vote honestly. I could sit here and click yes right now and fluff the number, and I have no interest in this whatsoever. So if you're going to do it, be honest about it, and give your honest opinion. If you're going to support it, because these are expensive pieces and it is a whole assembly. And for someone just clicking a button, I mean, it's kind of, there's a lot of repercussions for that, so to speak. But like I said, head over to the Facebook group, vote on if you are interested. If you're a serious buyer on it. Otherwise, let me know what your thoughts are below. Is this something you're interested in or passing on? What are your thoughts? Drop a like on this video. Please consider subscribing. And until then, this is Mr. Mom Collectibles saying take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Acknowledge me.